Now, family, before I run this video, right, I I want to make sure I got all my things on point because the internet been giving me problems and you know how it is, family. But let me talk to you Hebrews. Let me talk to you so-called African Americans. Yeah, I'm saying, let me talk to my people real quick. Now, I hope you know that we are being watched, family. You know what I'm saying? We being watched at every turn and anywhere that you look up, we being watched, family. This should let you know that you're really being watched right now, family. I really mean that. And then the one thing about so-called Caucasian people is that this is a runoff of white privilege. You must understand this. You know what I'm saying? You must. If there was no such a thing called white privilege, these incidents where all of these white folks calling the police on black people over stupid stuff would never happen. If you felt like you was privileged more than one person, you would have a sense of embetterment, of entitlement, to where you would feel like that person would be wrong for what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd be the pillar of the community, and every single thing that you would say is right, even though that you're dead wrong. So if there was no such a thing as white privilege, you wouldn't have all these so-called Caucasian people sitting here calling the police on everybody. So all my people. So the only thing that I can take out of this with this incident, I have to know that white people are watching me, family. You know what I'm saying? I have to know there won't be nowhere that I'll be going to where if I do something that, and you know me, I love it, family. I love it, family. If your ancestors wasn't slaves for 400 years, they would never feel the right to where they could tell you something like that. They wouldn't feel like that, but they've been telling black people what to do for 400 years. You know what I'm saying? This rubs over from slavery. That's what I'm saying to you. All of these things that's happening all comes from slavery. You be like, how, Jehoshaphat, how? Where's this sense of entitlement to where you will call the police on somebody who ain't even did nothing wrong? You more concerned about that person's life and what they're doing than your own and what you're doing on your life. That's why I tell you, family, racist people should be thankful for us because we give them a life, family. They wouldn't even have a life if they didn't hate us, family. So you can actually say we give them a life. They should be thankful. So as I look at this situation with me and my people, I just have to know that anything, anywhere, anything, I could be picking up a rock off the side of the road to move out. I could stop my car, pull out nails off of the side of the road so I don't get a nail in my tire, and they'll still call the police on me for that, family. So, and if you only knew how the police been looking at your brother who don't break no crimes and don't do nothing wrong, then you'd be like, oh, Jehoshaphat, I feel you, brother. I feel you. I'm going through the same thing on my time. Throw your hands up. I'm right with you, brother. You hear me, brother? To my sisters out there, I'm right with you. If you only knew, family. If you only knew. So let's follow back up to this, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you watch the video. If there were no such thing as white privilege, if white people didn't tell your people what to do, how to do it for 400 years, you wouldn't have people like this feeling that she's better than you or the rest of them. You don't have to like the way I said it. You don't have to.
He was standing next to me talking to his son, and this lady decides to butt in somehow and is now calling the cops.
And I told him, I said, hey, the ref is right. Always right.
Cameras in the pockets of Americans has led to another case of someone being caught on camera calling the police on a black man unnecessarily. It's an incident that happened at a kid's soccer match. The father of one of the boys actually yells a play.
Okay, no, okay, I'm gonna say one more comment. Then I won't say anything else about it. The damn shame about this. If you gonna call the police for a real crime, family. You know what I'm saying? To all the people out there. They sit there and they call the police on all these different people who are not even worthy to have the police come over. Then the police come over and do something bad to them, family. There's people actually out there that are dying, that are being beat, that's being stabbed, that's being abused, that need some real help. And the little time you can basically say, by the time these people are calling the police on my people, somebody's dying. So So in actuality, there's somebody out there in the world that needed that man to go save them, but they're too worried about their privilege and their hatred. Because remember what I said, there's no such thing as racism. There's only hatred. And their hatred to let it go, to leave it alone, and to be something else. So by them and their hatred is actually killing people, family. Okay, I'll leave it alone. I'll fall away. I'll bag up off of it, family. I said my piece.
His son, but a woman who works for the Athletic Association, she thinks that this father is yelling at the referee. But when other parents come to his defense and explain what's really happening, this guard essentially throws them all off the soccer field. You see her on the phone calling police as the father is talking with her, trying to explain himself.
Once she told me, the lady said, I felt threatened.
As a dialysis nurse in a nonprofit clinic, I urge you to vote no on Prop 8.
I'm sorry for the commercials,
vulnerable
honey.
dialysis patients into crowded and costly emergency rooms, driving up healthcare costs by hundreds of millions of dollars. Vote no on 8.
Only thing I can think about is that if she had a gun, she could have shot and killed me at that point.
People are now questioning whether this person who works for the Athletics Association did the right thing. The Athletic Association is defending this unidentified woman tonight, saying that there were other incidents at this particular game and that another father had to be thrown out.